to Extreme Connect Live Day 2. Adam, Day 2. Feels like it's been about 12 days at this point. I don't know how you feel.
I am energized coming out of that main stage session because I thought it was incredible.
It was. AI, obviously the topic on everyone's mind. We spent a lot of the time up on the main stage talking about that today and sort of how that looks potentially in the future of our products, the intersection with networking. And, we've been talking about AI for a long time, it feels like, in the technology industry, but to kind of see some of that come into life on the main stage about how that will look in the future of networking was pretty cool.
And we have to thank our incredible guests, Eric McLaughlin from Intel, Eduardo Kasner from Microsoft. I thought the discussion they had with Nabil was incredible.
Yep.
I really enjoyed hearing their vision for the future, and it got us excited about where we're going.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to them a little bit later today. We did catch up with Nabil, so we're going to talk to him too. But the importance, I think one of the things that came through in that discussion was the importance of doing this with partners, right? There's a lot of companies out there talking about AI, trying to do it alone. It's just not going to be successful. So having those big names like Intel and Microsoft to join us in this technology innovation is going to be pretty key.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and then we've had some great customer interactions. It was really great to see one of our newest customers, Korean Airlines, get up there today and receive an award. Our CEO, Ed Meyercord, talked a little bit about how this CEO of Korean Airlines set sort of a mandate earlier this year that we're going to be all about innovation. I think he said that in January, and when was it that we signed the deal with Korean Airlines?
Less than 2 months later.
Less than 2 months later, they made the investment in Extreme, ripping out a long-time incumbent giant to basically rebuild their network on Extreme. So lots of good energy, lots of exciting things being announced on stage today.
Yeah. Now, selfishly for me, since I work with customers, I love the customer interaction. I mean, to me, that is what Connect is about. And just to see so many great customers take the stage, receive an award, talk to us about it afterwards, share their story, it was really a great experience for everybody.
It is. It makes it feel real. It's why we're here, right? And bringing those stories to life kind of just reminds us like why we do what we do. And so that's, I think, the most rewarding part of this whole event for me is just whether it's on the show floor or at the bar at night, having conversations with customers, learning more about what they're doing.
Absolutely.
And the impact we have is just amazing.
So should we tell them what we have coming up?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So I think we talked about we're gonna catch up with Nabil, our CTO, CPO, just to talk about all the things that are in our roadmap from an innovation standpoint. What we announced here at the show, we introduced Extreme Labs, first preview of AI Expert, which is going to be built into our future solutions. We're going to catch up with Eric and Eduardo, like we talked about, just to learn more about the approach from Intel and Microsoft from an AI perspective.
And we have so many other great things. I almost can't keep track because so much has happened at the show this week.
Yep. Elijah from Kroger.
Oh, Elijah from Kroger. If you didn't get a chance to see that yesterday, please stay tuned because he was about as powerful a speaker as you can get.
So I got a chance to catch up with Nabil yesterday to talk a little bit more about our tech vision for the future and some of the things we're talking about at the show. So let's go take a look at that interview. Today I'm here with Nabil Bukhari, our Chief Product and Chief Technology Officer, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the exciting technology innovations we've announced at the show. Nabil, welcome.
Amy, thank you.
So glad to have you here. You've been busy.
It's always the most fun part of our year,
yes.
Working with our users and seeing all of them in one place. So it's obviously fun.
Getting validation of the technology we've been building and how they're using it.
Yeah.
Let's start there. So a couple of years ago here at Connect, we introduced One Network, One Cloud. And that was sort of the vision you put in place for, okay, this is how we're going to think about where we develop our technology, how we make it easier for customers. So let's start there. Let's talk a little bit about that and how far we've come over these past 3 years.
What we said and what we still believe, and we are very confident that that's the future of the world, is nobody should think about networks as a collection of switches or APs or SD-WANs or routers and stuff. That's not the way to think about network. Also, it's not the right way to think about networks in terms of like data centers and campuses and branches and remote. So then everybody's like, well, how should we think about networks? Well, the way we think about network is that the purpose of the networks is to connect people, application, and devices securely, reliably, and no matter where they are. And that should be the end of the definition of network. In this world of chaos, Extreme brings that consistency in vision.
Simplicity. I always go back to one of our favorite customers at San Diego Community College, who when we asked him what One Network means to him, he said, I get to spend more time with my family. And I think that's it, right? In a nutshell, that is the outcome, the essence of why we
100%, right? It's just focus on things that really matter, delivering those experiences, like we deliver experiences to our customers. After our customers, they deliver those experiences to their customers, right? And to the families of their customers, and to the society as a whole, right? Our customers in healthcare, they're providing that care to patients, to society. They're bringing clinicians together. Our education, we have a lot of education customers, right? They are bringing that education to every aspect of our society. We have lots of stadium, as you know, lots of sports and entertainment. They are the ones that are bringing families together, building those experiences and those memories for the next generation. And all of that is what matters.
Right. One of the big, I think, pieces of news this week was that we've now got the ability to operate 6 gigahertz outdoors. We got that standard power grant. So talk a little bit about that. And we did mention some customers here, Cedar Fair, BYU, the San Francisco Giants, that's just scratching the surface. They're already deployed and ready to go. So talk a little bit about that and what that means.
Wi-Fi changed drastically and significantly with the introduction of 6 gigahertz spectrum, which is really the Wi-Fi 6E part. And just to remind everybody, we were the first to push out a Wi-Fi 6E AP, both indoors and outdoors, right? And we were very proud of that. But that was just the start. Now, with the 6 gigahertz, you could use it internally indoors, but outdoors we needed this, the grant to be able to dynamically do that. And now we have that. So what does it mean to our customers? We are now capable, like through our technology, our customers are capable of deploying Wi-Fi 6E indoor and outdoor seamlessly under the same universal platform and under the same cloud, which is massive because this is really fulfilling that promise of 6 gigahertz in Wi-Fi. And we also announced our Wi-Fi 7.
Yes.
So look, we are leading the pack. We are leading the industry when it comes to 6 gigahertz based Wi-Fi technology, and it is about putting all the pieces together so you can deliver that outcome. It is not about introducing a product here and a product there. Again, bringing back to that consistency, reducing the risk in investing in new technology from our customers' point of view, because piece and parcels or portions of a solution, a lot of people have that, but they don't get you to that outcome.
And talk about some of the outcomes that we should expect with Wi-Fi 6E outdoors. I know we named a couple of customers, but what does that actually mean to them in terms of the experiences they're going to be able to build?
The biggest part is that seamless experience. Back in the day, it used to be, hey, I will go into the building and then I'll look at my Wi-Fi, either do emails or watch cat videos or FaceTime with my kids and stuff. But the experience and the expectation was that you will get it when you go inside.
Right.
And when you were outside, you were either looking for a cellular connection or you were like, oh, let me just get inside and catch Wi-Fi and stuff. But that whole 6 gigahertz indoor and outdoor actually takes that experience that you have indoors and makes it available seamlessly everywhere. So think about, SF Giants, from my hometown. When you go to the stadium, it's a beautiful stadium.
It is.
Obviously, I'm biased, but when you go to the stadium, it doesn't matter whether you're inside or outside. That experience, no matter what you're doing, just moves with you. That continuity of experience is just absolutely critical. The second really important part, and I've had a lot of conversations around this, is that 6 gigahertz allows Wi-Fi to really now support high bandwidth, high criticality, almost like mission critical applications. Now that is not a word that we have used with Wi-Fi for a long period of time. People are like, oh, Wi-Fi is best effort, and if you really want that mission critical reliability and stuff, go with wired or some other technology. I think that is changing. So now we are seeing customers deploying very real-time, always-on mission-critical applications with Wi-Fi 6E and now 7 and that 6 gigahertz. I think that's just the start. But I feel Wi-Fi will be very different in another 3 years.
We won't need wired networks anymore.
Who knows?
10, 15 years. All right, let's segue to some of the other announcements. So we also talked this week on the main stage about Extreme Labs. I want you to talk a little bit about that and the first technology preview from Extreme Labs, AI Expert. So everyone wants to talk AI. I think it's been a buzz of the show so far this week. Let's talk a little bit about Extreme Labs, what that means, and then what you showed up on the stage with AI Expert.
moving forward in the way Extreme is, we want everybody to be part of that innovation, be it our customer, be it our partners, be it our suppliers, be it the industry as a whole, our ecosystem partners, because the world moving forward is going to be based on true ecosystems. Right?
Agreed.
So Extreme Labs is a way to organize that.
Let's segue then a little bit to AI. It's on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to talk about it. I think we got a great response up there when you were on the main stage demoing what sort of the future might look like.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that and our philosophy around AI.
Yeah, there's so much noise and there's so much information, and it is moving so fast out there that sometimes it leaves you very dizzy. So, and as you know, like on the stage, we had two of our very critical partners with us, Eduardo from Microsoft Azure, as well as Eric, who's the GM of the Intel Wi-Fi business. And the conversation really revolved around how to think about AI. What would it enable? And I know the chat was quite a bit longer and expansive, but the two key points that were really critical for me in there, one was, while AI can do a gazillion things, the key factor is going to be trust.
Right.
How do you maintain that data privacy? How do you maintain enough controls and build that accuracy in the responses? Because ultimately the trust of the customer or the user is going to be based on that.
Right.
And if you don't trust it, it's not going to work. AI is really as good as the data.
Right.
Right? It's just, and then the key is, from an enterprise point of view, not all the data resides in an accessible and available pool, right? That's the nirvana, everybody wants to get there. But data exists in silos today, and it comes from various vendors and various technologies, and then a lot of time, that data is not even available in the right format to your AI tools. Our vision there is not just to say that, hey, data from the networks, let's just plug it into the AI. Yes, very, very valuable. But the moment you add other pieces of data sets to it, the value just explodes. And in that spirit, we had Intel with us. Now imagine a world where it's not just the data from, since we were talking about Wi-Fi, it's not just the data from the Wi-Fi side, but also real-time data from the cloud side. And then you mix this data, and that is what is available to that secure AI to build recommendations, to help you do stuff like that. And that is where the real excitement happens. Right. So, when it comes to AI, the two things or the two words that we keep in front of us, trust, which has been the cornerstone of our cloud strategy to start with, and ecosystems, because the AI world will belong to these two, and the rest is up to our imagination. Some of the capabilities out there, our customers and the market as a whole can expect us to productize those capabilities, bring it out in the spirit of that one network, one cloud, in the spirit of doing everything together. I don't want to tip my hat too much on this, but just to kind of give you an idea that our generative AI products, they will come in and they'll join our existing AI products in the true Extreme fashion. They will be across the portfolio from day one, end to end, that one network, that one cloud. And we will bring in some capabilities in there that will be pretty unique to us, because again, I will leave it at this point. At Extreme, it's not about the technology. It is about technology in the service of humanity, bringing that betterment to the human condition, and we will never stop on that mission.
Awesome. Well, Nabil, thanks for joining us today. A lot of exciting stuff this week. I think everybody watching this, go catch up on all of the great announcements that were made. Go watch the live streams from the main stage. You'll learn a lot more about how we're moving forward on this one network, one cloud strategy. Thank you for joining us today.
Amy, thank you so much for having me here.
So my passion at Extreme is working with our customers. We had a big one here this week, Kroger, but bigger than Kroger was the stage presence of their speaker, Elijah Savage. He was truly incredible. He got that room rocking, he got them engaged, and he gave an incredible speech, an incredible testament to our work together and what they have accomplished building the world's largest cloud-managed network. Amy, what did you think about it?
Yeah, I thought it was so inspiring. And a lot of that talk that he made up there was built on trust, right? The trust between the vendor and Kroger. And I think that's key, and that's a theme that we hear a lot in our conversations with customers and in terms of what makes us different. We just heard from Nabil about all the great technology we're building, but then to hear how that comes to life in a situation like Kroger is just really inspiring. So
we'll give you some quick highlights now, so you can see it yourself. But please do not go anywhere. You have to see Elijah.
Woo! Good morning, Extreme Connect. Wow, absolutely fantastic to be here this morning with you all and to share our journey. But before we get started, I like to kick it off in a little bit of a different way. I want everyone in the room to inspire me and inspire Fort Worth to let them know that Extreme Connect is here in Fort Worth. Here's how we're going to do this. On the count of 3, I want everybody, leave your library voice at home. This is the first time I've been told I need a microphone. I want everybody at the top of your lungs to shout EC on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. EC! We can do it better than that. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Gets the blood flowing in the morning. I absolutely love the passion. Absolutely love the passion. Wow, absolutely amazing. This is an amazing journey that we've been on, and I think about Extreme Connect. Extreme Connect, connecting us, connecting networks, and driving innovation. It is absolutely a wonderful thing to share with you all our journey that we've been on. First and foremost, I'm Elijah Savage with the Kroger Company. I have the great pleasure of working with the brilliant minds in infrastructure, cloud services, identity access management, and also product support and sourcing. It has been a wild ride. I've been with Kroger for 15 years. I promise you. Ed, I won't take you through all 15. But I do want to share with you the last 9 months and how critical the journey has been. Because in the last 9 months, Kroger made a decision, a critical decision, to lean further into technology, lean further into innovation, to change the experience for our associates and our customers. Give you a few numbers. Our associates, 430,000 strong. 430,000 that we touch on a daily basis in my organization. From a customer base perspective, 11 to 13 million every single day. And we started with one goal in mind. That goal was the toughest I have ever seen in our vertical. And that was to be the freshest, the absolute freshest retailer in the market for our customers, for any customer, in how they shop with us, giving them what they want, when they wanted it, how they needed it, whether it was digitally, online, or in our store on a daily basis. That journey started some 9 months ago. 9 months ago, we reached out to all of the major behemoths across the globe, invited them to the table. Extreme, of course, had to be one of those that we would have conversations with about what we were looking to do to take our platform to leverage innovation to move our company forward and deliver an experience that matters for all of our associates and all of our customers. It matters because we had to. We didn't have a choice in the matter. We had to deliver an experience for our associates that made their jobs easier every day. Every single day. We didn't have a choice. Because in doing so, those associates could then go out and touch each one of our customers to change their experience, to give them an experience that makes them want to return. Extreme was in the room talking with us. And they went through all of the great technology, much of what you will see here today. They went through all of the great technology, starting with Extreme IQ, of which we leverage heavily. Norm spoke about the largest wireless deployment in the world. The technology is extreme. Honestly, Ed, I expected you to have it. It's extreme. Why wouldn't they have it? Wasn't good enough for me. Wasn't good. I know, Norm, take a breath. Did I hear Norm just fall? It wasn't good enough for me. Because we had 4 things that we were looking for in putting a team together. Those 4 things were advanced capability, technology, AI, driving us into the future. Something that we can build today that would take us into the future, making our associate and customer experience world class, head and shoulders above everyone else. Secondly, being a Marine, I hope you all understand this, I needed a team that could execute like no other. I needed a team that can go in the middle of the night, like SEAL Team 6, and the next morning, knowing that we weren't there. The bar was extremely high. And we talked to everybody. We talked to all the brands. I'm sure that many of you, even though you're here at Extreme Connect, that many of you talk to on a daily basis. Thirdly, I needed a team that was dedicated every single day. Day in, day out, coming to earn the business every single day. And fourth, a team that was passionate about their customers as I am about Kroger customers. And I got to tell you, I thought we would get 3 of those. I thought we would get 3. If you get 3, it's like hitting a double or a triple. But everyone that is close to me, and I got some of my teammates out there today, knows that every time I step up to the plate, I care nothing about a double or a triple. We had to get a home run. If we got all 4, it was going to be like a home run or a grand slam. But in starting this project, I just had to get that passion for their customer as we are passionate about Kroger, because we are very passionate about our customer. I had to get that close. I had already kind of subsided within myself that we'll get 3 of the 4. Norm, I was wrong. Ed, I was wrong. And I humbly come here today to tell you all I was wrong. We got all 4. Give you a little bit about operating in the middle of the night. The next time that you are at your local Kroger store, because I know you're all Kroger shoppers, the next time you are at your Kroger store, take a look around. Look up in the ceiling and admire some of the technology. See how many access points we replace every single night. By the way, 10 to 60 stores a week, shutting them down at 11 o'clock midnight to have the store reopened at 6 a.m. in the morning, ready to deliver what you need when you need it. Here's the kicker, the biggest thing. We started that program some 8 months ago. We started conversations 9 months ago. We started the program some 8 months ago. And through all of that, we've not had one major incident of things slow, things being down. Find wood, knock on wood. We've not had one incident of things slow, things being down. Hey, what's going on? What we have had, though, what we have had are comments like, whoa, what'd they do last night? Hey, my mobile device with my in-stock application, man, it really pops now. So much better than it was before. Please don't take us back to where we were. Those are all comments from our associates meeting that goal. We still have a lot of work to do because we're 40% through the rollout at the current time. Huge kudos to Mr. Naveed and Gary Ferrari sitting down front. They are the primaries responsible for delivering this project, doing an outstanding job, teaming with Extreme, bringing innovation to the forefront for Kroger, making a difference in our associates' lives and our customers' lives. And again, I humbly come here to tell you that I got it wrong. And also to thank the Extreme team for coming on this journey with us, but we can't take our foot off the pedal right now. We are going to go into distribution centers. We're going to go into manufacturing plants. We're going to take that same passion, all of the innovation, to those verticals inside of Kroger, one of the largest. And I've been in this industry for a very long time. I know I don't look like it. One of the largest wireless deployments I've ever been a part of. And it is knocking it out of the park. Our company, our associates are responding well. Our customers are responding well. So, I promised Norm that I wouldn't be long. But I would like all of you to help me again give Extreme a well-earned round of applause for getting all four right. A huge hurdle. Let's give them a round of applause.
So all we can say after seeing that is wow. But Elijah was not the only wow guest we had here. And even just looking down the hall right now, I see him coming. Yeah. Eric McLaughlin from Intel. And you know what that means, Amy? It means it's time for me to get out of here so you can talk to him.
Open up the chair. We're ready for Eric. All right, we're here with Eric McLaughlin of the GM of Intel's Wireless Solutions Group. Eric, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Amy. It's great to be here.
Yeah, we just got off the main stage a little while ago where you were up there with Microsoft and some Extreme folks talking about AI, the topic that's on everybody's mind these days. You guys have done some great work there, and there were a couple of things you set up on stage that I want to dig a little more into. In terms of how do we get ready for sort of this next wave of AI from an infrastructure perspective? You talked about the importance of that and sort of different inputs. Can you go a little deeper there?
Sure. So a good place to start is, Extreme's on the network side. My group and my team are on the client side. So we both have different vantage points of what we're seeing during, the day or the evening and, as people are doing their jobs. And so this is a great example of two companies that have those different vantage points and different data sets coming together and figuring out how do we optimize and maximize the use of that data to actually solve real problems. So I think, you start with the data. AI has to have data to do anything, right? But then you talk about where does that data get processed? Is it on the client? Is it on the network? Is it on the edge, further out on the edge, or is it in the cloud? And then how do you get that data to where it needs to be processed, and how do you do it in a way that's quick, efficient, fast, and accurate? So that takes everybody. right, to make that happen.
Right.
So that's why we love the partnership with Extreme.
Right, those are going to be critical moving forward for us to be able to succeed in this market too. One of the other things that I thought was really interesting that you talked about is when you're building these data models and when you're building these AI models, start from the problem and work backwards. So talk a little bit about that. I think we were talking before about some of the use cases you guys have developed with that philosophy, and if you can just dig a little deeper there, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, one of the more fun ones, I guess, that we worked on was actually not a networking one, but we realized, actually, our CEO told us he wears hearing aids, he's hearing impaired, and he said, look, I want to use my hearing aids when I communicate with my PC. I don't want to have more headphones. And so we got together with Microsoft. We worked within our data set, their data set, worked within the OS and on the client, and we figured out a way to, first of all, make those hearing aids function as headphones on the PC. So now he's connected, he's got an immersive experience using things that are already on his person, and he has a much better experience. But the next problem we identified was that when you're in that immersive experience, you don't know what's happening around you. So we used AI to differentiate from other ambient noise, a knock on the door or doorbell, or a person saying, hey there, I need your attention, and we were able to give a prompt on the screen.
Oh, wow.
So
Very cool.
that hearing impaired person is doing their work, they're immersed in their experience or call or whatever, but if Amazon shows up, they can still get that delivery. So that was one that we worked on, and we started with a problem, figured out how does AI help us, and then implemented those capabilities, and literally we did that project in 8 weeks.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, and that's a true way that AI is going to change the future for the better, right? I mean, I think there's a lot of fear and FUD out there, but that's a perfect example of how it's going to enrich our lives. All right, last question for you. You've spent a couple of days now here sort of immersing yourself in Connect. What has been one of the biggest takeaways from your perspective at this event?
Well, first and foremost, Extreme likes to have fun and in a good way. I mean, I just love the way everybody interacts, how they treat their partners and their customers. It's a really great collaborative, environment. And I think everybody that I've talked to here is here to learn. They're here to help. So that's probably my biggest takeaway is, that collaboration theme and the way Extreme works to make sure that they are taking best advantage of the ecosystem as well as all the things that they bring to the table, and actually talking to their customers, learning what needs to be solved, and figuring out how to deliver what our customers need.
Great. Well, very articulate. You just gave us our pitch for Extreme Connect. Well, Eric, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It was really inspiring to hear your talk, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Sounds great. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you. Great stuff from Eric. Also joining Nabil and Eric on stage was Eduardo from Microsoft. So let's bring him up here to talk a little bit more about Microsoft's role in this partnership in building the future of AI. All right, we're here with Eduardo Kastner from Microsoft, who just came off the main stage a few minutes ago. Very compelling talk about AI and the future of AI as it relates to networking. Thanks for joining us here today.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Yeah, so you talked about one thing on stage that I thought was really interesting. You said, we all act like AI is new, but it was not born yesterday. And I think that's really accurate if you think back of all sort of the innovations over the years. But if I were to ask you sort of where are we in that life cycle today, what would you say?
Well, first of all, you hit a really important note. Like, number one, we started building blocks for AI in the 1950s. But if we get not to the whole history, but just to right now, just to Microsoft, about 22,000 patents before we started with Gen AI. So, I mean, the amount of research and work that we have done as an industry for us to get to this stage is tremendous. So we're really standing on the shoulder of giants. And what happened about a year ago with GPT and with the, if you want, unleash of large language models was that it became very practical, it became very usable, it became very approachable, because before it was hard to do a lot of the features of IT that were related to AI. And so AI was still very complex. And now it has become not only a usable and malleable tool, it's being adopted faster than any other technology that we have seen.
It's true. With that, you talked about there's 5 key areas to ensure that you have the right foundation to do AI appropriately. And so what Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I actually am a little bit more direct on my language on that. I think these are the 5 concerns that everybody has, and they're evolutionary. Like you don't necessarily get to all 5 immediately. As you start the journey, the first one is privacy. Everybody starts with, is my data going to be private? Is my environment going to be private? So how do I ensure privacy? The second one is, do I meet all the security concerns and compliance? And you could also bake into that sovereignty. So if I have my data in a specific country, does it not leave? Do I meet the requirements and the compliance of that, whether it's healthcare, whether it's finance, or whether it's et cetera, right? So that goes into the second one. The third one, once you pass those first 2, is, oh wow, if I'm actually going to do this in production and I'm going to run into large environments, can I scale this? Will it become performant? The fourth one is, okay, so if it goes big, how do I manage costs? Because I don't want this to run away from me, right?
Yeah.
But what almost everybody realizes at the end is that the fifth one is actually the most important one. And what I believe should be number 1, which is it accurate? In other words, you build this for a purpose. If it doesn't do it, you're not going to use it anymore. So then what does it matter if you meet all the other ones? Because you're never going to use it. So accuracy actually ends up being, in my point of view, the key one that means, is it going to drive adoption? Are people going to use it? People are going to benefit from it. And obviously you got to meet all 5 to be enterprise grade.
Yep. Okay, so with all of that and setting the foundation of what that good looks like, what is our next step for AI?
Well, fascinating that you ask. I think that we have gotten to the point where adoption is going to explode. We're going to find that there's pretty much 2 trenches of people, the ones who are going to start to explore, because the difference between what we've done regularly with applications, with IT, et cetera, with information technology is we have a roadmap, we have a vision, then we go build it.
Yeah.
Not so much with AI. With AI, you want to experiment. You want to learn, and then as you learn, you want to build those very impactful, and this is the magic key for me, is high value workloads that are feasible to build and that deliver results. And so that's going to be the first camp. And the second camp is just going to sit back and look at the first camp go.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be on the first one than on the second one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Very excited about what the future holds and working together with Microsoft. And you gave us a lot to think about here.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
So one of the awesome things we do at this event, Adam, is recognize some of the customers that are using our technology in innovative ways. And so we call that the X Factor Awards. I think this started just a couple of years ago. Talk a little bit about this year's X Factor winners.
Absolutely. First, let me say I now feel smarter sitting in this chair with the
Yeah.
2 great guests we had. The X Factors is me personally favorite part of Connect. It's an award that recognizes customer innovation. There is nothing better than recognizing the great work our customers do with our technology. We had 4 this year, each excellent. You saw 1 already with Kroger, and who could forget what Elijah had to say. And then we had 3 other excellent customers. First, local boys, Texas Tech, Red Raiders. A lot of Red Raiders work at Extreme.
Yep.
We love them. They are doing fantastic things on campus in their centennial school year, which is this year right now. Next, Extreme loves sports.
Yes, we do.
And we have an absolutely incredible customer in the Bay, San Francisco Giants. Bill Schlaw is an innovator. He's a wizard with wireless. He is doing incredible things at the ballpark there, and we love to have him. And then finally, our customers come all over the world for this. Now, it was easier for them. They had their own plane. But Korean Air, who is doing incredibly innovative things with their airline, they had a 30-year relationship with someone who we won't name.
Yep. Ryan's with Frisco.
And when they needed innovation, they knew where to come. And we're thrilled to have them, and we're thrilled to work with them and do great things down the line. So let's go to a quick video just showcasing these award winners. You know, I think I've said several times in this news desk that my favorite part of Connect is getting to talk to customers. But while I'm trapped here with Amy, not trapped, I love her, we had our expert investigative reporter, Rowan, out getting some reaction from the main stage from our customers. Let's go to Rowan.
Hi, I'm down on the main floor seeing who I can find, and I found Ted. How are you, Ted?
Good, very good.
Tell us who you are and who you work for.
I'm Ted Reese. I work for a co-op in Denton. It's called Coast Over Electric.
And you're in the main session this morning. Just tell us any key takeaways, anything that you're going to take back with you.
I got a lot of key takeaways, especially around the AI pieces and the power that it takes to build these AI systems and basically securing your data with AI. It's a big deal, and so there's a lot of eyes on that.
So what problem is that going to solve in your business? How do you see it playing out?
Well, it's just really just keeping your data secure. You're trying to use the technology to work for you and who has all your data. And so you have to be really smart about what you give the systems to see where it's all going. And so people are building their own AI systems, and on top of that, the speeds of the network, the processing that it's got to take, it's just getting faster and faster. And the power consumption, related to my work is the power grid. We've already experienced having to turn off data miner sites because of the load on the network. And so now we're seeing how much power it's taken to do this technology. We just got to be in the forefront of AI.
So what do you do when you get back to the office? What are you going to do differently based on what you've learned here?
I came for training, the NAC training, and so I've got some pieces that I learned that's going to fix some of the problems we're having. I did the NAC training, and so we will be deploying NAC, and we got some professional services to help us out do that. But the next thing on the horizon is the SD-WAN. So since we went Fabric a few years ago, we're already doing Fabric Extend out to the sites, and we're going to need to send this over multiple media types, so microwave, internet. So we need SD-WAN solution to be able to send that fabric down and have HA connectivity.
Fantastic. That's a lot. You're gonna be busy. You're gonna be busy. Okay.
We stay busy.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for coming to Extreme Connect.
All right, yeah, you too.
Okay. Back to the studio.
All right, Amy, we had dinner with two very special people last night, Zeus Caravala and Bob LaLiberte, two brilliant industry analysts. Now, I wish we could have recorded that and showed it to you because it was very fun. But instead, Amy was able to catch up with them earlier in the week, and here's what they had to say. Amy, tell us a little about it.
Yeah, we just talked a little bit about the market, how it's changing, the convergence of all of these different technologies and networking, the importance of that, and most importantly, what's happening in the customer market. These guys spend a lot of time out on the road with customers, with partners. They really do have a heartbeat of the industry, and to just hear that playback and sort of how that aligns to what we're doing here is always very validating. And so we're going to learn a little bit more from them about what they're seeing and hearing in the industry and what they're thinking about Connect. Welcome back to Extreme Connect Live. We're here, day 2 of Extreme Connect, and I've got some special guests with me. I've got Zeus from ZK Research and Bob LaLiberte, sorry, I can never say your name correctly, from Newly with the Cube Research. So these two guys really at the heartbeat of this industry. They're out there talking to vendors, talking to customers, talking to partners, really get a good sense of what's going on. So thank you guys for joining us here at the event today. Curious to get your reaction of what you've heard and seen so far.
And so what I liked about the keynotes and even a lot of the sessions is you're now actualizing the vision of the infinite enterprise, right? So you set that up a couple of years ago, talking about the expansion of the enterprise to literally everywhere and everything, right? But to do that, you need to connect, you need to secure, and you need to manage it. And I think with so much data being generated off the network today, it's very difficult to do it manually, and that's where AI comes into play. So it was good to hear that. It was also good to hear the customers and how much they like using Extreme and working with you and how they're taking advantage of the innovation you've had. So.
Yeah, I think for me, I think a couple observations. One, I would say, first thing is just a lot of great energy at the show, right? Seeing all the customers here, oversubscribed, again, I think, this year. So just tremendous energy. A lot of people, all the sessions that we went to and the breakouts, all standing room only. So just a lot of people trying to learn and soak in. To Zeus's point, it's great to see that execution against the vision. And it's great to see the acceleration of innovation coming out of Extreme. So whether that be the Wi-Fi with the AFC and so forth, whether it be the Universal ZTNA, et cetera, all those things are just great proof points of the fact that not only have you set forth the vision, but you're executing, and the rate at which you're executing against it is definitely picking up. So that's always great to see as well. Absolutely.
You guys both spend a lot of time with customers and prospects out there too. Tell me some of the interesting stories you've been hearing from them, interesting use cases or interesting applications of the network. Anything kind of come to mind?
Well, everything's been driven off the network, and I'll point to a video I did with Bill Schlau from the Giants.
That's great.
Where I asked him about the importance of the network, and he goes, the importance of the network, he goes, it's everything. It's our facial recognition for ticket entry, it's security cameras, it's our point of sale, it's our 911 service, it's our medical, it's fan experience, it's back office, and
getting an Uber out of the stadium.
And more what's interesting about Wi-Fi is it's powering more and more back office systems than it ever has before. And I think even when you get into IoT has historically been those traditional verticals, manufacturing, warehousing, but every company now is really an IoT organization, right? And so I think that companies are looking to leverage the network now to just create better employee, but more importantly, customer experiences, from school systems to hospitals to retailers to stadiums.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think the other piece that we see from organizations is that desire to have more simplicity. Right. To be able to reduce the amount of complexity that you're dealing with. So having these unified systems, right, the one network, the one cloud, that you're producing, enables organizations. And I was talking about to some of the customers about some of the new technology that you have out that they had in beta, and they basically were saying that they got the software without any instructions, and were able to get it loaded, running, and operating without anything. And so to me, that's what I always refer to as the principle of least astonishment. So if you get something from Extreme, you're able to bring it in, get it loaded, kind of like that Apple effect.
Right.
You don't need to learn it. You can just go ahead and do it. So to me, when I'm talking to organizations, it's all about how do I reduce that complexity. And a lot of that, as you were saying, Zeus, is about the fact that they're reducing that complexity so they can have better availability, better performance, which ultimately leads to better experiences, because that's really what it's all about, whether it be their end user customers or even their employees that are coming back to the office as part of a hybrid work scenario. They always want to ensure that they've got the best possible experiences, and the network is so critical to delivering that, so they need to have those tools to help them do that.
Great. Well, thank you guys for joining us here. Enjoy the rest of the event. It's been great to catch up with you, and hopefully we'll see you around the demo halls and around the parties.
Yeah, thanks.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. An important part of this event is our partners. They are really key to helping us, make this event what it is. And Adam, you've caught up with a couple of them over the past week. One including Acucode, obviously a key partner in our Kroger deal. So I believe you spoke to them earlier this week.
I did. Kevin couldn't be here with us live at the news desk, but he was great to take the time out to tell me a little bit about Acucode, talk a little bit about the joint value we bring to customers. And he has a lot of exciting things going on of his own that he'll share. So let's take a look at what Kevin had to tell us earlier in the week.
My name is Kevin Price. I'm the founder and CEO of Acucode. One of the things that makes both Acucode and Extreme unique in our category is our willingness to innovate with the customer, to partner with the customer, to do new things, to extrapolate new values from the network infrastructure. And Acucode and Extreme have done that quite successfully in some of the largest retailers in the U.S. Right now, Acucode Extreme is the first OEM partner that has joined Acucode in a new program called the Acucode Certified Ecosystem, or ACE for short. And ACE is an entirely new way to sell, service, and support technology in the U.S. And we're very excited about launching that with Extreme and the potential for reaching new customers, new markets, and new accomplishments. One of the toughest things about working with very large technology companies is mindshare and real engagement. Too often, with partners, for instance, like Cisco. With Extreme, I get real engagement and genuine intention to go work together, to partner together, and build this together. And I really appreciate that. One of the things that's different about Extreme is that you did not build a product from the ground up, acquire pieces of it, and have integrated it using a mostly open source strategy, which resonates with Acuutech. We've been using open source for our entire company history. We were one of the innovators who introduced it in the enterprise space. And I think that's part of what makes Extreme one of the most innovative players in the network vectors is that same approach.
Well, Adam, I think it's time for you to move out of the hot seat and move somebody else in.
Yes, I am absolutely thrilled, honored to get a chance to speak to one of our incredible technology sponsors, Amanda D'Arrojo from Cloud4Y. I think you're really going to like this. If you're doing innovative things with wireless, you do not want to miss this interview. We are back live at the Extreme Connect Live news desk, and with me is our next guest, Amanda D'Arrojo from Cloud4Y, an incredible Extreme partner. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So just to get us started, if you could just tell me a little bit about yourself and about your company.
Yeah, so I'm Amanda D'Arrojo. I'm VP of Sales for Cloud4Y. Cloud4Y unlocks the power of the physical location for retailers all across the United States. We're in over 150 million mobile user devices nationwide.
So tell me a little bit more about how your solution helps benefit retail customers.
Yeah, so Cloud4Y, in combination with Extreme, layers on top of the Extreme equipment to really make a more robust guest Wi-Fi experience and keeping your users connected and their mobile apps and applications working while they're in store.
Excellent. So you've been here with us at Connect. You've had a great booth. You've had lots of fun interactions. What has been your favorite part of Connect so far?
I really think the opportunity to meet with all of the participants here and have these conversations that stem for greater conversations and the ability to help more of the customers in the future.
I've already seen your booth has been very busy. There's lots of people you will be helping in the future. We love to work together. So tell me, from your perspective, not to put you on the spot, what is your favorite part of working with Extreme?
Gosh, I guess just the innovation that Extreme just continues to put forth. It's great to have a partner that is as innovative as we are and looking for just anything in the future to grow and change and develop with the times.
So speaking of the future, what are you most excited about for our future?
For the future of the partnership or the future of today? I mean, because
Let's
happy
talk
hour
about the future
is
of the partnership.
it.
Happy hour is good, and that is coming up, not for you, but for us. But tell us about the future of the partnership.
Yeah, so we've been working with your team extensively in all of the different divisions, state and local government, as well as the major retailers. And just recently, we spoke to one of your major retailers, and we're going to be looking at some things to have them in the future. So just continue to work with the partners and the customers together.
All right. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate having you, and please enjoy the rest of the conference.
Yeah, thank you.
Back in the hot seat, Adam.
I am back in the hot seat, but wasn't that an incredible conversation with Amanda? Really exciting stuff that they're doing with wireless. And we have something else important coming up, and I really have to get out of here now because our new CMO, Monica Kumar, who we've gotten to meet at this event, who's been incredible to work with, you got to see her on the main stage today, she is taking the hot seat, which means it is time for me to make my exit and time for another great conversation with a leader at Extreme.
All right, I am here with Monica Kumar, our newest member of the executive team, our Chief Marketing Officer. Monica, okay, you've now absorbed several days of Connect. Give me your reaction, your thoughts.
First of all, Amy, I'm so happy to be here. I am seeing extreme energy, extreme passion, extreme culture at display and our extreme customer first obsession. So I'm loving every single moment of Connect.
Great. Some great announcements this week. We talked about, being the first to have customer deployments outdoors for the Wi-Fi 6E or 6 gigahertz spectrum.
Right.
But I think a lot of the attention went to the main stage today, where we talked about AI and the future of networking. And of course, the theme of the show is AI, networking, and security, the convergence of those technologies. Some great guest speakers up there. I'd love your thoughts on what we saw on the main stage today and sort of what the future of this company looks like from from building AI into the experience.
Yeah, today was all about AI. So, that's one of those areas where everybody's experimenting with it in some form or shape, and some use cases are becoming real. So what we heard on stage today from Nabil Bukhari, our Chief Technology and Product Officer, and Eduardo from Microsoft, and Eric from Intel, and our own Marcus, is all the great use cases that we can bring to customers today around expert, being an expert helper, if you may say so, in terms of asking the right questions from the knowledge databases that look across both public and private information, including support nodes. So like really at your fingertips, getting that information. Also, how do you then network, optimize your network, make it more efficient was another use case, which is kind of up-leveling the AI ops use case. And last but not least, we saw some example of what would it mean if you can actually predict what might be happening to your network in terms of performance or failures, and then get insights to fix it proactively. So I was excited to hear, how some use cases are real today, but then AI is changing so rapidly, we don't know what's to come next 6 months from now. But one thing is for sure, our team's on it, our product team, working with our key partners. We are on top of what innovations we can bring to customers to help them put that into action in their environments.
And one of the things that Eric set up on the stage that I loved, because I felt it was so aligned with our brand, is that you start from the problem and work backwards. And that's really the essence of who we are. We talk about new ways and better outcomes, and that's really the construct of that promise, right?
Exactly. And also what I did love was all the customer stories that we had. We had a couple of fantastic customers that won awards today, right? Bill Schlau, CIO of San Francisco Giants, and then also Texas Tech University. And both of them are incredible customers who are doing great things, driving impact for students and for fans in their own environments using extreme technology. So I love that part. And then, of course, Ed Meyercourt, our CEO, he came for the closing, and Ed had some great examples in how we are helping build the store of the future, the travel of the future, the healthcare systems of the future. So all in all, it showed us how technology is a means to an end. The end is all about driving better outcomes for the humans in the world.
So a big part of your charter here at Extreme is helping us elevate our brand. And you mentioned Bill Schlau, and the other night we were having a conversation with him, and he said, I don't think you guys are a challenger brand anymore. And I thought that was really interesting to hear because of where we are in the market. But getting that customer validation and hearing those words, I'm curious sort of what you're taking from that feedback, the interaction with customers here, in terms of thinking about our brand and helping to elevate it in the market a little bit more.
So I absolutely agree that Extreme has a very unique position in the market right now, where we have so many customers that are using our technology to drive outcomes for their users. So I certainly think we have a great foundation to build off of. And now we need to be louder in amplifying our stories of how we are driving impact in the market. So great technology, great customer stories, but my charter is really to bring those stories out more through the airwaves, through all the different channels we have access to. Also, make sure that we are aligning the stories, like you said, to what customer problems statements are. And we have many more of those. So I would say we are starting off a great foundation where Extreme really is well known in the industry. We are the leader in the Magic Quadrant for Gartner MQ in our segment. So starting off a great place. Can we go higher from there? Absolutely, yes. And that's the plan, with highlighting more of our customer successes and outcomes that we're driving.
Great. All right, Monica, so we're about to wrap up day 2. What's been your favorite moment so far at the event?
Okay, I have to say this. I didn't realize how much fashion is unleashing at Extreme Connect, honestly, especially the shoe fashion. So I'd say the amount of amazing shoes I've seen, and Amy, I think you're wearing one of those yourselves. Nabil Bukhari, check him out if you're here. Norman Rice, I think Tina, one of our customers, Mount Union. Those are just the names that come to mind. So that's one. And then the cowboy hats.
Yes.
I'm seeing some of those around too.
So if you come to Connect, bring your fashion game and your shoe game with you,
You
next
have
year.
to.
Yes. All right. Well, Monica, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to see what you have in store for driving the brand forward. And enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thank you, Amy.
All right, thank you.
Another fantastic conversation. I love to hear from Monica. We are excited about what she's going to do for Extreme and taking our brand to the next level.
Absolutely. And I think it's events like this where you really get to see the brand on display. All of our partners, customers, employees are really what make a brand. And so seeing the energy here, hearing the things that they're talking about is a part of that brand building process.
The process it's in process. We're not at the end, we're at the beginning. We're excited about what we're going to do. But one thing we are at the end of is Extreme Connect. And frankly, I'm sad. I want it to keep happening.
I know. And spending this time in Fort Worth over the last couple of days has been great, exhausting at the same time as well. I think we're all a little aged a few years over the past few nights. But today is the day we wrap it up. We get to kick up our heels. We go out to party with our customers and our partners and really kind of celebrate all that this event has brought to us this week.
We're excited for it, but ultimately, we need to say some thank yous as well.
We do.
Our customers, our partners, the team that helps us put this event together. There are so many great people that come together to make this show a reality. The people filming this right now are doing us a tremendous favor in bringing this to you, and we love them and we appreciate them. So much goes into this, and there's just no limit to the thank yous we have.
Absolutely. And everybody watching at home, same there too. Thank you for engaging with us, for being interested in the stories that we have to tell here, for sharing your feedback. That just makes us all better. And we really appreciate opportunities like this to kind of sit in a room with people, hear their stories, and make Extreme a better place.
Well, thank you again for joining us, everyone. I'm Adam Riglian. Thank you very much, Amy Aylward. I'm going to give you the last word, Amy.
Stay classy, Fort Worth.
Welcome to the great state of Texas, and welcome to Extreme Connect 2024.
Give Extreme a round of applause.